has been screaming for at least 3,000 years. If you found yourself listening to something that wasn't there, it was probably her. Radiologists still seek the origin of the scream. Journalists believe it's the article. Musicians speculate about an exciting revolution of the vocal cords, but nobody really knows. The truth lies in gossip. Eve was reading the news when she started to scream. Now, not one but many, her synchronized screams swallow her whispers into a mycelium-like simmer. They are shape-shifting into a melody, something like a pop song, ending in a sneeze. The story begins in an all-inclusive trip to Crete, in the Club Med near a refugee camp where Eve first found part of the news. It's believed she may have seen the article with her own eyes. The headline that caught her attention was the weather forecast, traced in wet sand. Ferocious love dies of dehydration. She read what followed. The day is mostly soft and salty, less humid. Seasonable temperatures, a high of 70. Tonight is clear, a low of 70. Tomorrow the sun is not getting up. She scrutinized the weather map and looked with a premeditated nostalgic gaze at the simplified sun on the bottom corner of the page. The sun was broken in two. Its other half was the residue, leftovers of a cloud. Eve was now in her hotel bathrobe and slippers, on a paddle boat, when a decipherable combination of letters slowly shaped in the clouds. It announced the new legislation against images.
The article cites, "Today, a new law was voted against the movement of images. Images are nodes of energy and matter that migrate across different supports, shaping and affecting people, landscapes, politics, and social systems. Due to their uncontrollable power and influences, the new legislation eradicates their movement in order to avoid the blending of multiple informations. People can still fabricate and own images, but have to hide them in the darkest and most wet corner of their cave. They're not allowed to share them with anyone else."
Mine schwimmt im Blut, weil mich der Sündenbrut in Gottes heiligen Augen zum Ungeheuer macht. Und mein Gewissen führet Pein, weil mir die Sünden nicht als Hüllenhänger sein. Verhasste aus der Nacht, du allein hast mich in solche Not gebracht. Und du böser Adam Samen, raubst meiner Seele alle Ruhe und schließest dir den Himmel zu. Ach, unerhörter Schmerz, mein ausgetortes Herz, will ferner mir kein Trost befeuchten, und ich muss mich vor dem verstecken, vor dem die Engel selbst ihr Angesicht verdecken.
Under this law of clouds were tourists on the one side of the beach and refugees on the other. Both groups were getting drunk and taking ecstasy. All handheld devices were on speakerphone, like a choir streaming a breaking news sound effect. Jeff Bezos and his dachshund, Honey 31, had landed on Mars. The 1% had all moved there, and the middle class was now on a vacation. The air was light, almost asleep, and Eve worried about the new interdiction of images, and mostly about the disappearance of the weather maps. What was she going to wear? How was she going to plan her daily outfits? She would have to reorganize her closet and probably develop a new shopping strategy. She knew she was going to miss that drawing of the sun, that symbol of the cloud, and the lines of the rain showers. Her hands were holding the newspaper a little bit tighter, and her eyes were looking at the images with more strength and intensity than usual. She tried to scan the sun's contour directly into her nervous system until she felt hungry and remembered that it was time for dinner. Once inside the hotel restaurant, she realized the staff had printed the new menus and the photographs of the various meals were missing. She folded her newspaper carefully along the image of the sun. She brought it to her mouth, wetting its edge to ensure a clean break. The paper was salty. She was horny. The cook is in love, they say, when the food has too much salt. Eve awoke from an accidental nap. Feeling dizzy, she swiped on her phone to find a date for that evening, and then turned to the astrology section of the paper. The horoscopes from the machine were the most accurate part of the news. She often skipped the first sections of the paper to get to them. Worried about their chemistry, she compared her horoscope to that of her prospective lover, a measure to ensure that they would match.
Dear Libra, swallowing starts with moistening and ends with relaxation. Take this advice as you wish, but I propose that in the coming millennia, you two start wet and end soft. Look toward the slime. It's time to collaborate. Move more like a mold. Lose your bodily boundaries. You are neon, protoplasmic, wet, and wild. I sense that your contact lenses are leaving your eyes quite thirsty. Does walking to the convenience store feel more like dry blinking through a bricolage of painted junk? Are you addicted to artificial tears and biotrue solutions, but still rarely find relief? Well, my parched prudentia, perhaps it is time to take them out for a day. In fact, maybe it is time to stop wearing contact lenses for good. Wet your empty eyes and embrace the blur. September, Virgo. Monotropa uniflora is an herbaceous perennial plant native to the temperate regions of European Russia, Asia, North America, and northern South America. Unlike most plants, it is white, translucent, and does not contain chlorophyll. Instead of generating energy from sunlight, it is mycoheterotrophic. It steals its life from the trees. Because it's not dependent on sunlight to grow, it prospers in dark environments. Let this be a lesson to you, dear Virgo. Become parasitic or die.
Feeling less than parasitic, Eve canceled her date and continued through the paper. She stopped at a pharmaceutical ad.
Are you suffering? You may be entitled to compensation. The fog you may be feeling is not just a lazy haze or the first sign of death. It is a medical condition, a mindfuck. Defined as a disturbing or extremely confusing experience, in particular, one that is caused by deliberate psychological manipulation, a mindfuck is not a brainfuck. A brainfuck is an esoteric programming language from 1993. It has only 8 simple commands and 1 instruction. Call now.
In accordance with her astrological omens, Eve assumed a strict avoidance of both fucks. Turning the pages backwards, Eve read that a portal had opened in a state she had never heard of.
This week, a sinkhole opened in the suburban backyard once home to an elderly Floridian couple. Video taken at the scene showed the home quickly collapsing downward, as if hit from above by an invisible bulldozer.
Eve had been dealing with her own metaphorical sinkhole phenomena. Holes were opening all over, where photographs used to live. Her racing thoughts paused for another ad.
Trouble, sorrow, storage. Store your trouble. Stay sleepy. Sweet machines produce tears while human faces grow hair. A noise throws up. I heard the crash. I heard the ground melts under your feet if you walk the same way twice.
und mich so heftig schrecken. In deine tiefen Wunden, da ich stets Heil gefunden.
The day turned to night, and Eve was looking for a new date. Luckily, in a few seconds there was a match. The person seemed to be on the same beach as her, a few kilometers east. She looked at the imageless profile and fell in love with proximity. His first name was Green and his last name was Card. His profile was a love poem. Inside a tired valley lie many one-bedrooms, where marriage itches throughout the day. Bones are cramped between tasks and dreams when the alarm laughs at everyone. Outside, an ambulance sings our names. Today, the people decide to not get up, ready to unlearn the walk to work. Yesterday, the highway chain smoked in our faces while we prepared our coffee. But today, the milky cereal brain mind speaks. I am not the city's therapist, but I want to be its hypnotist. I want to switch it down to airplane mode so it can take off and fly away into eternal vacation. Meanwhile, in every home, nodes stay still. Fleas jump in and out between thoughts. Some neighbors snore. It makes the walls shake and soothes the floors. On the roof of the city, a bug colony made a cozy home in the fall leaves. The coffee has no milk. The water is cold. Outside it is winter. Inside we are alone. was around 8 p.m. when Eve read his profile, felt something in her stomach, and opened her mouth.